Hello all, and welcome to another installment of something I like to call Yeah, That Happened, where I tell you a tale that happened to me. Or did it? Nah, everything you're about to hear happened at some point or another, but what will you believe? I would like to take you on a trip to the halcyon days of second grade. Yeah, we're going back pretty damn far for this story. A story about my second grade teacher, Ms. Kettle. She was in her 50s or 60s, I can't really tell, by the time my class got to her. And by the time my class was done with her, she was done with teaching. But one thing at a time. Back in second grade, I was in a class made for both troublemakers and slow learners. I was the slow learner kind. Now, when you're 7 years old, you tend to listen to what your teacher tells you and you take it as gospel. Or you did if you were me and had no friends to goof off with. Now, our teacher had anger issues. She'd regularly shriek full volume at students that were difficult. Her teaching method was to shout, repeat, and shout again. She was far different from our firm but calm first grade teacher, and far angrier than our kindergarten teacher had ever been. Ms. Kettle was, for lack of a better term, bad at her job. She was bad with kids, she was bad at teaching, and she was bad at controlling her temper. Those three things altogether do not make a good second grade teacher. Now, during class we got 2 bathroom breaks, each one about 10 minutes in length. We'd all get up, we'd leave the classroom, she would take us to the bathrooms that were closest, have us go in a few at a time, and when everybody had gone in and come back out, we would go back to class and resume. Without fail, the top 2 troublemakers in class, Dave and Andy, would find a way to piss Miss Kettle off, simply with bathroom breaks. It was their hobby. Now, be it taking the full 10 minutes in the bathroom and not coming out or responding when called, or maybe it was their favorite, asking to go to the bathroom directly after we got back from bathroom break. Miss Kettle? Without fail, she fell for it every time. Yes, Dave? I need to pee. I just took you! How can you have to go when I just took you? I didn't have to go then, Dave or Andy would say with a smirk. Hell, sometimes if we were just talking after sitting down from break or lunch, she'd go off for several minutes at a time. There was a lot of her shouting, "Excuse me!" and "I am the adult here, not you!" which didn't tell us anything other than that we got under her skin easily. Second grade was when we started learning cursive. Cursive sucked. Now, I have always had terrible handwriting, and a weird way of writing letters. I was scared to ask Miss Kettle for help, because if you screwed up and she saw, she'd shout, "No!" and then not actually tell you what you did wrong. Hell, I was scared to ask her anything. I just sat still, filled out my worksheets, and kept my head down. I didn't like being yelled at. I never spoke out, I never made noise. I behaved as best I could, even if math and cursive were hard. I figured, hey, she's the teacher. She must know what she's doing. But the moment I started to think that she didn't know what she was talking about was when we were learning about animals. More than just hippos and lions and stuff. You know, the classics, but native ones that we could see in our own yards. It was fun to learn about raccoons and foxes, even though Miss Kettle said that raccoons were born solid black and that foxes were completely mute. Both of those are completely false, by the way. Those were things that I didn't know were false. And that was that. She was a teacher. She had to know what she was talking about. until she got to hummingbirds. This is what Miss Kettle said, as she was pointing to a picture of a hummingbird up on the board. A hummingbird's legs are so fragile that if they use them to perch, they will break. What? No way. I'd seen hummingbirds perch. I'd seen them land and sit still for a bit. Fuck's sake, my bathroom shower had hummingbirds on the shower curtain, and they were perched, clutching vines like any other bird. So, going against the quiet, friendless little shit, I raised my hand. Yes, dear? I've seen hummingbirds perch before. She chuckled and smiled at me the way only an angry old fart can. No, you didn't. But I thought I did. No, you didn't. Their legs break if they use them. They can't perch. Hummingbirds can sit on branches, but they can't use their feet. The problem was, I was an animal nut when I was a kid. They were actually my special interest. Also, I had taken a vacation in Maine and visited my great-aunt and uncle. And every morning, we would sit on their porch and watch the hummingbirds feed. And they would fucking perch! Their feet were so tiny and cute. But anyway, you don't question a teacher. Ever. Unless you are confused. Which I was. And since the answer she gave me wasn't satisfactory, I decided to ask my mom when I got home. She told me that, yeah, hummingbirds can use their legs. The look of pure, stoned horror on her face when I told her that I thought their legs broke if they used them is still burned into my memory. Along with some other things that happened with her. But anyway, nothing ever came of that. But I would come home with questions that my pothead mom couldn't answer, and my government man dad wasn't in state to answer. So, I was out of luck most days. I think what actually broke Miss Kettle was our class trip to the Baltimore Aquarium. Yeah, I'm from Maryland. Yeah, I'm born and raised Maryland. Hoodlum Beach! The class had put the money forward to have lunch, see everything there was, and go to one of the dolphin shows. Dave and Andy, though, well, guess who found a way to piss off the teacher again? They talked with one another about going to the aquarium, and about seeing the dolphin show. But, thing is, they called it, for some reason, the Minnow show. I thought it was funny. The class thought it was funny. But Miss Kettle? If you said anything close to the word minnow around her, she'd flip. Hell, she threatened to revoke the field trip privilege of anyone who called the dolphin show anything but the dolphin show. I have no idea if she could actually do that, but again, we were kids. We were assholes. Aquarium day came and went. It was fun, there was a touch tank, I got to play with a starfish, there were dolphins, and there were so many jellyfish. The day ended, we went to the school, and then went home. Not a word about minnows the entire trip. Until the next day, when we had worksheets. Our class was instructed to write at least 3 sentences about what we liked about our aquarium trip, and draw a picture relating to what we liked about the aquarium trip. Dave wrote about how much he loved the jellyfish, and how much fun the Minnow show was. Andy wrote about the touch tank, and the Minnow show. My desk mate wrote about the Minnow show. The person behind me wrote about the Minnow show. Half the class was calling the dolphin show the Minnow show now, because the threat of not being able to go to the aquarium was out of the way. Have you ever seen someone's spirit break? 'Cause I'm pretty sure that's what we saw that day. Miss Kettle turned beet red. Didn't say a word. Collected our worksheets and turned off the lights. We sat in silence until lunch. No bathroom breaks. No more work. Just silence for 30 minutes. After lunch, we watched movies until the day was over. We had a substitute until the week finished. And Ms. Kettle retired from teaching over the summer. So, yeah, that happened.